Hello, today I would like to show you a finished stage of my Powermaster figure. So as you can see, we have a figure here in robot mode and in a car mode. He is fully transformable with no parts forming, and I will be showing that, but just for the introduction I would like to show you how they look together. So I will move this one to the side and I will talk more about this main figure. So here is Optimus, and if you do not know what's the inspiration for this version, he is inspired by the Marvel comic version of Powermaster Optimus Prime. So to talk about a bit about the design, I was mainly focusing the design on his robot mode, and because of that, the way he is drawn, his robot mode was such that the chest was shaped like this, so it basically formed the front of the cap in alternate mode. So in order to have this look and make him transform, I had to just modify the alt mode, so that's why the choices were made to make him look like this. And he is a part of, let's call, my series, my Marvel comic series, and other figures from this, let's call, series are this Scorponok and this Fortress Maximus. So I am making the files available to be bought at my Etsy store, so you will be able to print all free figures, and also there are variants. So for example, in the case of he's gone fell off. In the case of Fortress Maximus, you will be able to print Grand Maximus, the Japanese version, and in case of Scorponok, you will be able to print Black Zarak. Here is a work in progress version that will be updated, and there are some mods made by Robin Tam, and thank you very much for that. And they will be modified, but this is a work in progress, so you will be able to make a Black Zarak. I'm sorry about the phone, I keep getting some messages. So let's move them to the side. I will be supplying instructions, so you can print them. There will be a limited number of those figures physically, so what I wanted to be for it to be professional. So these are transformation instructions. There is also a transformation video, then you can see in 3D how to transform the figure. There will be detailed instructions on how to make this. So yeah, if you want some scale comparisons, here are some siege figures. So because of the way it is made, this is a 3D printed figure. He can be printed any size, so it can be very small or very big. So, but this is the default size that I made him. So this Starscream also, I think, makes a very good underbase Starscream from the Marvel series. So let's put them to the side. Also with some other Chuck figures, I prefer a bit older versions. So here is a Legends or Reveal the Shield Jazz, and here is Blue Streak. Both of them have some of my mods, so but I like this size difference the best. I think this is a very good fit. And with some more modern figures, let's get Smokescreen and Jazz in here. So this is how he scales with them. He also does not look bad. I think there was a Powermaster commercial with Jazz, and they were a bit about the same size in that commercial. Okay. So, and MP10. So he is about the size of MP10. So if you're wondering how he will fit in your collection, this is a good comparison. Also, here is my first take on this character. So the heads are very similar, and this is a Legends Takara Powermaster Prime with this new head. So this is also stage of this project. And so yes, this is, let's move him a little bit closer and adjust the camera. So I know that the Powermaster Prime had Haikyuu as the figure, and I intend to make him in the future, but mostly he was seen like this, so there was no engine here, and I plan to make an opening at this section for magnets, so this way you wouldn't have to disconnect everything, and Haikyuu would have just magnets that could plug in here and form an engine. So that's for future updates. Also, his eyes are exchangeable. You can use different colors, so he can have blue eyes or red eyes. I have an example here with yellow eyes, and this new version, the version installed has a head that's harder to open, but overall it's, in my opinion, works better. So as you can see, this is how he looks. Head is on a ball joint, so, and you can raise it up like this so he can look down. I think this is important for the bigger figure. And a bit stiff, but also you can slide it down. So yes, so let's look at the back. So this is how the back looks, and I tried to fill in as much as I could. There are some parts here, like those circles here. They are for the future. I may make parts that cover this a bit more, but I do not think personally it looks bad. So depending on the feedback, maybe I will add this part or not, we will see. So as you can see, this is the new back of the head, and if you want to look below, here are the back of the legs. So the wheels are on the back of his legs, so you can remove them if you wish. You can remove a lot of stuff, so he could be just a standalone, no transforming figure if you wish. It's very easy, actually. You just slide them off. Yeah, and you can remove those panels as well. So the previous version did not have them closing like this. I also added a few other modifications, but they are mainly affect the functionality, not the looks. Okay, so let's see if we can get him into frame, because he is not that small. Okay, so for posing, here are his guns, so we can slide them out. And like I mentioned in my every video, I will be working on new hands. This time for real, there will be new hands, new fists, because these are the fists that I am using for a very long time, because I do not like to just do model hands, so that is why. But I will make proper hands, do not worry. And the way he is built, most parts are exchangeable, so you can just swap them out, print out new parts later on. So as for articulation, I'm not very good with showing articulation, but I will do my best. So the arms have this sliding part here, so they can just slide in like this. They can rotate like this. Because of the transformation, he can bend them to the back and a bit to the front, so he can hold something in front of him. He can rotate them outside, but as you can see, those panels at this part hinder or block the movement, but you can lift them and achieve something like this. You may want to rotate the gun a bit, so he can do something like this. And for the elbow, he doesn't bend backwards, and I locked the transformation joint, but he bends 19 degrees, and if you push his armor a bit, he can achieve a bit more, so something like this. I'm thinking of doing a double joint like Fortress Maximus, but for now this is what he has. And there is also a locking joint here, but it's mostly for transformation. For the waist, he does rotate at the waist, and the way he is now, he is blocked, so he can slightly move like this, but he is mostly blocked. But if you raise him a bit, this thing unlocks and he can do this. So this and slightly back, so you can do this to unlock some more poses. And his legs can move all the way, but the wheel is a bit obstructing. You can move it out of the way if you wish, but so you can do 90 degrees. I think he could do more, but I don't want to force it. Technically the legs can spin 360 degrees, but there are parts obstructing. This can move, but it's a bit stiff right now, so it may be hard to show you. He has a rotation joint here, but it's just an added bonus. This thing is on the ball joint, so he can move like this, and there's also a bend. As of now, this is the most of the bend he can achieve. I may redesign this part so he can do more, but for me it's more than enough. But we will see what's your opinion. And for the feet, as you can see here, here's how the feet look. You can extend this. You can extend this part to add additional motion. So this is on the ball joint. This can move side to side, and this is on a kind of a ratchet joint. So you can, if you want him to, so let's adjust a bit more again. So you want him to have a wide stance, you can do so. You have to just pull the leg slightly down, and he can be standing flat on the ground. So I think he can achieve some very nice poses. So I'm not sure if I will be able to pose him as well as I could in front of the camera, but you cannot see the whole pose. But you can achieve some dynamic poses. So maybe something extreme like this. Because of the heel, you can balance him out. Oops, sorry. This version, this is a part of the bumper. It's meant to pop off, but it can be glued in. So the version, it will be glued in later. So I just forgot to do that. But as you can see, nothing breaks. It just pops off. So yeah, so he can have this like more dynamic pose. I will be making a gallery with all of his pose options later, so right now I'm just showing you how he looks like this. Of course he can hold his guns like this, and he can, let's see, I did not try it, but can he hold his gun in two hands? He kind of can't. So when he will have a proper fist, he will be able to hold it in two hands. Right now it's just something like this, but like I said, it should be easy to swap the gun and later swap the hand later. It's not looking that bad actually, like this. So yeah, so I'm actually like it. Gonna make some pictures like this. Okay, so now he transforms, of course, and we will do that now. I will try to keep everything in frame, but it may be hard. There is also an option to have his eyes glow. Unfortunately, right now I do not have the proper parts, but I can show you a fragment from an older video of his like first look version where I installed the eyes, so you can see how that works. Okay, so for transformation, I'm wondering if we should follow the steps from the instructions. Let's do so. Okay, so I have my instructions here, so I will go step by step. So let me just give it here. So step first is slide those parts out. Step second is open the chest, and there are small grooves here, and you just want to move it like this. So this part here, just checking, I have in frame unlock, and as you can see there is some detail. There is a bit of see-through, and that's where the panels may come in, that I plan to make in the future. And you can place a matrix in here, and it's not there isn't really a way to secure it. I was thinking of making one, but I don't think I'll be using that in the future. But the way it is made, it can be placed in such a way that it will also be here during transformation, so you wouldn't have to remove it when transforming him, and I will be showing that when I'm transforming him. And those panels, I often paint them in gray. Right now they are in black. So yes, so the next step is to slide this whole section back like this, and now the next step is to rotate everything like this. So rotate like this, and those panels you can open them so there is more room. So just rotate them like this and slide everything to the front. So it's like this. Now we can close those windows and they will lock everything again. Sometimes this may come out of alignment, so you can push it back here. Okay, so first page of the instructions done. Let's keep moving. This is the second one. We are rotating this 180 degrees. Next we can rotate this back, and we will deal with those two side panels, and we just rotate them like this 180 degrees. And I have a lot of pictures of the other ways that I wanted to do this, so there are some renders of an alternative versions. If you would like for me to go through the design process and show you all of the versions, please let me know. I'll be happy to make that movie. Okay, so now those two panels, we already extended them and they are on the double hinge. So maybe if I move this to the side, so they go in first you move them like this, and then on the double hinge they should plug in here. Same with this one, and they should plug in here. And the new addition are those two plugs that hold in those two parts together. They are not necessary, but they are just easy to align everything. Okay, so this is the next part. Other part is to rotate the arms like this and like this. If you are wondering how to construct him for the printed parts, there will be a second video just to do about that. Okay, the next part is to lay down the figure. I don't think we have to do it because I will be rotating him towards the camera. So the next part here is we are rotating this part here, this part here. There is a small peg here. When you unlock it, it can rotate now like this and like this. So you are forming like a Z or an S there, something like this. Okay, so we have this part too, and now on this double hinge you can swing everything to the back like this and like this, and after you can lock those two parts together because there are like two pegs here. Am I in focus? I hope I am. And we are just locking them together, and we can slide those parts here. And now just slide everything to the front, and maybe a bit stiff, and make sure that this is above. So yeah, so it's hard for me to grab the proper that angle, but to push in the right direction in front of the camera, but I will do my best. So yeah, so they are pushed, as you can see, mostly pushed over here. You can slide them a bit to the center and it will help to align them. So yeah, it should be okay. And now those two panels are already down, and we can close this one. So the matrix would be sitting over here normally. So this is in the robot mode, so it would be sitting over here. So if it would be still here, I could just make a rotating movement here so it is below this part. But right now it just closes this off like this. So we have the prompt ready, and make sure this is everything aligned. It may come out of alignment, so you may have to adjust this part a bit in the future, but for now it is fine. Just and now what's the next part? Let's see. Let's follow the instructions. Okay, the next part is to slide this everything now, rotate the whole figure, and now we have to unlock those legs. So the way we do it is, right now the way it is, everything is pushed down and it's locking this whole leg together. As you can see, it's locked, but when we extend it a bit, it's unlocked, and now everything can open. Oh, and as you can see, there's a peg broken here, but it doesn't affect the whole figure, fortunately. And now unlock. It has 2 pegs, so okay, we can unlock everything, and we cannot rotate this further because of this part, and this part rotates like this. It's made to disconnect rather than break, so it can stay on during the whole transformation, but if it's easier for you, you may unlock it. I made it so that it's disconnectable rather than just breaking off, because this is a part of a bigger part, and I did not want it just to I did not want to reprint this part again if I break something, but it shouldn't break, so you can just pop it off. Okay, so now you can rotate it 90 degrees, and now this enables you to slide the whole wing's front. It creates a tunnel here, and now you can slide everything like this. It's better to push. This is the strongest point, and those two are, so if you push, it's better just to grab them like this, your fingers here and here, and same for the other direction. Okay, and just push them as far as you can, but it may slide back for a moment right now. Now we can just lift those 2 panels over here. If we move to the back and open a bit more, there are 2 panels here that we can, panels or pegs, or not sure how to call it, but we can rotate them like this. We can now connect those 2 legs so they do not wobble, and now we can slide everything down. Just make sure that everything, as you can see, this is a bit misaligned right now. This waist, one leg is okay, so let's slide it down and make sure that, see, this is a bit misaligned, so make sure that this is aligned properly. Okay, so we have something like this, and now we can just lift this up, just like I told you with the articulation. And when we lift this up, it unlocks this clip like this, and we can rotate it back, and this is how he looks from below. And now we can slide it down, and everything should close using those pegs like this. Okay, so like see here, this legs, if I will remove it, this leg is, well, not aligned properly, so make sure that those joints, the leg joints, are properly aligned, so they are 90 degrees. Oh, and I forgot to open those 2 panels, so to do that we can lift it slightly, and this panel and this panel back, and let's put this part back in. Okay, and we have the car mode ready. Let's make sure that these are all the way down. So yeah, this is a car mode, and there are like 2 ways you can have this car mode. This is like a normal version, but because of the transformation you can extend it further if you like this longer look. I had to recharge the battery, so I'm back. And as for this alt mode, someone referred to it as a garbage truck, a bit hurtful, but maybe in US you do not have many trucks like this, but this kind of trucks are a thing in Europe, I think, and this is, I think the translation is a box truck or something like this. So yeah, this is like a small truck just to ride around town and carry stuff. So this is what I was thinking of. It also was supposed to have this armored, like a bit of a tank feel, because I felt that Powermaster Optimus Prime was more like a combat version, so that's what I intended. So let me transform him back. I will try to keep in frame, but I will talk about this whole thing. So as you can see, as you know, he is this is the handle has two ports that you can plug it in. This is one port, and if you wish it could be a little shorter, so it disconnects. This is more of a G1, I think, look, but I think I like this one more when it's longer. So let me transform him. So and this thing disconnects too, but you can glue it in, but as you can see it doesn't fall off, but I just disconnected it. So yeah, so I will transform him quickly this time, hopefully. Okay, so let me log this for now here. And so yeah, so he is 3D printed. I would love to make 3D printing more known, so that we could print our figures home. I will be selling the files for him, like I said, but I think I will be trying something new. And what I mean by something new, I think I will try to sell them at a lower price, and also to make the earlier projects at a lower price, because I want to see how popular can it get, how many people could make it and give me feedback. At first I was selling them at a bigger price, because designing those figures costs some time and material, and I was thinking that this is the time I could spend at doing work, so I wanted to offset that. But I think we are at the stage that we should focus on making 3D printing more popular, so we will see how this thing gets. So I always wanted to recreate those Marvel comic scenes, so I'm very happy that with this technology I am able to. So yeah, so there are a lot of many great creators that are doing this. There is Tim Young that made his Constructicons, and I already printed them, and I plan to make a video about them. I showed you his power armor, or Ultra Magnus armor, so great job for this. Yeah, great job. So I'm glad to see that there are more people doing this, and I hope that really in the future we could just, that this would be a common thing, that we would just share our files, download them, even that maybe Hasbro would do it as a way to sell figures. I tried to contact them many times, but I got no answer to anything, so I don't think they care, or I just don't know how else I could contact them about this. So perhaps you can help me by sharing this video if you think this is worthy, and this is you would like the future to look like this. Perhaps you could help me and share this video. This figure that you see now will be posted for sale, so I will be selling a very limited number of physical figures, but I mostly want to focus on sharing the files, and the files will be for you to see how it is made technically. There are detailed instructions of how I build it, how I printed it, so they are like just for you an information of how to design those figures. Yeah, so let me just pause him a bit. So yeah, here is Optimus, all transformed. Like you see, nothing broke. He's ready to be posed again, and I hope to see this like a start of a new trend, that we can design our figures by ourselves and share them among each other. So let's see how far it goes. So thank you for watching this video. So maybe at the end let's just show all three of them. And this is a scene from the comic I really wanted to show. Maybe not in this order, but I'm really happy that we can have this, and I am wondering what the future will bring with the development of new technologies and stuff like this. So thank you again, and I look forward to meeting you with new projects. So take care.